FaZe destroyed the Mongols on their CT side. All thanks to this smoke. Well, it's not often a top 5 team in the world loses to a team outside of the top 10 in such a dominant fashion, all thanks to a smoke. FaZe used this smoke to lurk, destroy rushes, and to play the map wrong. Well, this smoke has some tricks up its sleeves that FaZe have been saving for the major. Welcome to how this tiny little smoke destroyed a top team. To understand the impact of this specific smoke, we need to understand how smoke functions in Counter-Strike 2, especially after the massive overhaul they received with the game's release. With the launch of Counter-Strike 2, smokes became dynamic. They now last almost 5 seconds longer, but they can be broken up by HE nades. This completely changed the meta. Before, smokes provided guaranteed cover. Now, a single nade can dissolve your setup. Teams had to rethink how and why they use smokes, shifting from post plants and execute tools only to early round control now. We have seen this shift already. The long smoke on Dust 2, the bottom mid smoke on Ancient, and today we're breaking down FaZe early A main smoke on Anubis. Let's get practical. Here's how you throw the smoke. Stand here when the game starts. Aim here and remember this lineup is quite forgiving. Then do a left click jump throw, and the smoke should land around here. And remember, this shouldn't be the A anchor's job to throw, as then he would be too late to sight to use the smoke. So rather assign the smoke to a mid or rotating player, someone who isn't needed on site right away. This smoke played a huge role in FaZe dominant city side versus the Mongols. When it lands, it creates a wall between water and A main. For the Mongols, whose default sends 2 players towards water, it acts like a red light. They have to pause, wait it out or reroute. Meanwhile, the A anchor, in this case Rain, is free to play actively towards A main, winning deep control of it. Without the smoke, A main becomes a bottleneck. Ts are forced through a tiny opening like a Coke bottle, and flashes makes it easy to overwhelm A site. But with the smoke, Rain can push up and hold tight angles, shutting down rushes like he did in round 9. Just look at this. To understand why it works so well, we have to compare 2 scenarios. Against Aurora on day 1, this strategy backfired. Rain had a rough CT side finishing 1-11. Aurora ran a water heavy default, which meant they could comfortably wait out the A main smoke before executing. On top of that, FaZe committed to too early mid aggression, which left Rain isolated on A under pressure and with little support. As when FaZe pushed middle, they moved further away from the rotations to help Rain. Against the Mongols just 48 hours later, the situation was different. Mongols played a more balanced 2-1 default, with 2 players towards water, 2 in middle and 1 on B. When FaZe A main smoke landed, it immediately neutralized the 2 water players, rendering them ineffective for the early round. With no control over A main, the Mongols were forced to shift their focus to middle, an area that FaZe are more than willing to actually give up. As FaZe understood versus Aurora, to giving up middle helps this smoke be more effective. And as a result, FaZe could consistently have 2 players prepared to defend A sites, even when mid control was lost. And to show you ways this smoke was used, we have to quickly check out round 6 and one specific part, as we will get a full-on breakdown of round 6, but we'll just do this one specific part in more detail. FaZe round 6 will have this smoke outside of A and give away full-on mid control, so Mongols takes mid control and leaves A main. As Sensu will rather focus towards connector, while Mcenio stays in carpet to help Sensu if needed. And here FaZe giving away full-on mid control, while they need some early information, and here they will use the smoke for it, as the leech will line up this nade to break the top of the main smoke from FaZe, while Rain goes into the smoke, and on the break he can spot water, call that it's clear and walk back. And when the leech gets the call that water is cleared, we will see him instantly walks back to middle to help Simple and get ready to win back middle and for the eventual B retake if needed, as this smoke and play with the nade made FaZe way more passive, but in a good way. Well, there's the smoke, so how did FaZe end this half 10-2 versus a team ranked 6 places higher than them? Stop scrolling. Want cheaper skins and quick cash? Let me put you on to Skin.Land, the easiest way to buy and sell skins safely and fast. Are you selling any skins? Use my code AGONOR to get a free $10 bonus on your first sale. Pick the skin you want to sell, choose your payment method, confirm the trade, and boom, your money is on the way. No risk, no waiting. Still using the Steam market? Let's compare. Same skin, same condition, different prices. Steam is pricey, Skin.Land way cheaper. Plus, you got multiple refill options for grabbing fresh, hot skins. So shout out to Skin.Land for sponsoring this video. Bookmark the site, claim your bonus, and don't overpay for skins ever again. Now, let's get back to the video. FaZe in this game opts to have a more passive mid hold, and as we can see in the pistol round, FaZe starts like this, with them leaving mid open for the taking, as FaZe rather have a 2-3 setup, with 2 players on A, where a leech will get the dual Berettas drop to play on this close angle on pillar, and by the way, you drop the dual Beretta so they can actually have armor, just to make them even more deadlier. while Rain will be the second A player and here jiggle between mid and A sites. But as we can see, Bridge and the mid room has been given to Mongols. So this allows Mongols to go for water drops and find a lot of information. But in this round it makes sense, as FaZe has all covered towards B, with Simple in water holding for any Mongols player dropping, and then they will have Frozen holding B main and Kerrigan in this limbo position, as he can rotate to middle or help both B players if they are pushed. Mongols will send one player outside of A in carpet as the second site push, as if Mongols wants to go for A site, this player makes sure they can split the attention of the A players, as funneling all players from middle to A through this bottleneck here makes the execute very hard. Then Mongols takes full-on advantage of the weakened mid-hold from FaZe and sends 4 players middle to take it. On the smoke from Mongols middle, we will see Rain use his smoke to make sure Mongols are stuck in middle, as now they have smoked here, and with Rain's smoke, Mongols has to make a decision, either push through one of the smokes or wait and allow FaZe to take more map control. Mongol opts for a smoke push towards A site, and they use this flash here to push through, and here Rain is found, but the lead shines as he can find 3 kills to give FaZe the advantage. But 9-10 is fast to trade back, and it's all down to a 2v2, but here the rotations from FaZe is fast, as they are already in heaven before Mongols can plant the bomb. And FaZe are perfect, by pushing when the bomb is being planted, so there will only be one player holding this push, but he can find Simple and it's all left to Frozen to clutch the 1v2. And Frozen finds the clutch with some amazing taps and just a calm approach. Mongols got the plant, meaning in round 2 they will buy, as with the plant and 4 kills you get a lot of money to play with, and try to win, as well as they've seen that FaZe lacks mid control, meaning a force spike can do a lot of damage towards middle. FaZe starts the round in a 1-2-2 setup, with Rain as a solo anchor who will smoke A main early to make sure Mongols can't push him too soon. Then they will have the auto shotgun on Simple in middle, as here by placing yourself somewhere tactical in middle, the shotgun can be a killing machine. And then Elite is more of a float player in this round, as he's in between mid and A side to help early. And then FaZe has the last 2 players on B, with Kerrigan holding for water control and Frozen here, as he can quickly help mid if needed. Mongols will send 2 players towards water, 2 players in middle and 1 outside of B here, to just hold for any pushes. So here we can see Mongols are approaching this round very defaultly, early on, in hopes that FaZe makes a mistake. FaZe will smoke middle to just make sure Simple can get into a greater angle towards middle, and when Simple can clear it and pushes close to the smoke, as well as Rain pushing close to the A main smoke, we can see Elite will fall back and go to B. So here FaZe switches their setup from a 1-2-2 to now a 1-1-3. Mongols tries to fake towards B, in hopes that this will force FaZe to leave mid weaken, so they can just take it. But silly Mongols, they did not have to throw a fake, as FaZe has already weakened middle by having Elite rotate over. So can Simple hold mid alone? Simple goes for a jump spot here, and can spot at least 2 players, and this puts FaZe into gear. As we can see, Rain has fallen from A main after the smoke faded to now go middle and help, while Elite is falling back fast to middle to help Simple. And Simple finds a kill, but Mongols are fast to trade back and finds Elite as well, who tried to help Simple, as I do not want to be Elite having Simple scream at you if you fuck up like that again. So I see why he ran out trying to help his friend, and here FaZe has lost middle. But that is not too bad, as with Mongols now focusing middle and A and B main, they leave water open. And here Kerrigan is fast to take it with his MP9, and Kerrigan freezes in water here and hides, as he does not need any more control than this, and he can find Mcinio, and the disadvantage of 3v4 is now a 3v3. Mongols go for the side take and we see some trades. And on the 2v2, the team play from FaZe is perfect, as Frozen baits the first player into him, and we can see Blitz focuses Frozen, only for him to be surprised by Rain, and in the 1v2, 9-10 can't hold it and finds the round. FaZe, after winning the first 2 rounds, are forced to save in this round, as they lost in round 3 to a force buy from the Mongols, as they were able to plant in round 2, and here, look how FaZe plays with the pistol. FaZe will play in a 2-1-2 setup, with Elite in middle, then have Rain with the help from Simple go close to A main, and then have both Kerrigan and Frozen on B playing close angles. As if you want SMGs and pistols to shine, you have to play these closer angles whenever possible. As if you give Mongols the option to take fights from further distances, well, you give them the advantage. Mongols will be in a very default setup again of a 2-2-1 setup. And let's just quickly break it down. With 2 players in water, you can always hold con and the A main push, as well as you can always push something together. The same is with the 2 in middle, you can always hold the opening here in middle and the left side and push together, and the one guy outside of B main, well, he's just looking there, making sure the CTs can't push and take some information. It's a very default setup and probably the most common one to play. Maybe other than the 1-1-3 setup where you have 3 in water, it's a dynamic setup, so I see why Mongols use it. But where does the action start? Well, it all starts with the leech, who lines up this flash, as this pops here, and this might look bad, but this flash is thrown to abuse your screen disadvantage, as you can't really see where the flash pops, as it pops too high for you to be looking at it, if you at least have good crosshair placement. And for all you silvers, you guys can actually block it, as you are always aiming way too high. So that actually gives you the advantage versus a leech. Then a leech, after he uses the flash, will push into the doors, and here places himself right here, as this is another position to meet Mongolz mid-take, as the Molotov Mongolz will use does not spread to him. Well, almost, he gets a little hit, since the Molotov is meant to make sure any door players falls back, but not if they play on the corner here. And a leech finds the first kill and opens up the round for FaZe, and key to learn from a leech here. On this kill, since the leech plays so close to the corner, the Mongolz player can actually see him before a leech sees him, as he is closer to the wall. But to make up for this, a leech has the shadow advantage in this fight, and why a leech can still swing him and find his kill. After FaZe wins mid control, we will see both Simple and a leech falls, with the leech on the SMG joins Rain towards A site while Simple retreats to B site to help over there. Mongolz goes for the execute, and here we will see FaZe is fast to rotate, as with lowered guns it's better to play these rounds together. FaZe will have Rain close here, as with the way the sun is on Anubis, it gives him this shadow advantage towards A main, and he can find a kill. And then a leech and Simple, who both has SMG, swings behind Rain and can find a bomb, and Mongolz can't do anything. It's round 6, and here FaZe again are super passive in middle, as they place Simple further back here, and this is done as if the Tease wants to win middle. They have to use a lot of utility to take it, and that is an early warning sign Simple can use to play more accordingly, as he don't want to play further up in middle to be killed early on. Then FaZe sends 2 players towards A, where they will use this A main smoke to allow Rain to win close main control again, as this smoke keeps on letting him win this part of the map. Then we will have the default setup on B from Frozen and Kerrigan. Mongolz again are in the default 2-to-1 setup, so here is no need to break it down. Mongolz uses this stairs nade to A site, and here can hit the leech for 40 damage almost. It's a great nade, as it hits perfectly towards any players playing Broken Wall and Camera. And Mongolz does it with a delayed timing, as a leech started the round trying to avoid it, but as it's so delayed he could not. But on this utility, it tells FaZe Mongolz has at least 1 player towards theirs, and just this cue can give FaZe the idea of how Mongolz will approach the round. And here a leech and Rain uses this setup, that are already broken down guys earlier on, but I will still do it just to make the flow better, with the leech nading the top of the smoke to create an opening for Rain to look into water in hope of finding a kill. After Rain peeks out and can't see anyone, we will see a leech go to middle, and Rain falls back way more passive, as now they will have to wait for the Mongolz to make their next move. Mongolz uses some utility all over the map in hopes that FaZe will try to do something and slip up, but FaZe are rock solid. When Mongolz get ready for the execute towards B site, they will have 2 players in water, 2 in main and 1 in middle as the lurker, while FaZe have sent Rain to middle, leaving A open while Simple rotates towards B to help. On the B site take, we can see Rain finds the mid player first. Right before the B site take happens, Rain kills the mid player, while over on B, Simple and Sensu finds a kill each, and this activates the execute from Mongolz, and here Simple shines and finds 1 more kill from the players running out of main to site, while Frozen finds a kill over on the water player, and Sensu, who started a round and the execute from Mongolz, is left alone to save. In round 8, FaZe uses this stair smoke, and not the default A main smoke we will see from them. And this smoke has the same concept as the Dust 2 long smoke, where the T side will use this smoke on Dust 2 to make the long peek from the CT side delayed, as the CT will usually be the first to peek long all the time. And here, by lining this smoke up, you stop the early peek from water to connector, and FaZe uses this opening perfect, where Simple on the AWP will go here and hold for any players peeking on the left side of the smoke, while a leech will run into water and use the smoke to allow him to take water control without being seen. And the A main smoke we have seen FaZe loves to do. Well, FaZe does not throw it this round, as they want Mongolz to focus A main and not a leech pushing, as the main smoke has been used to condition Mongolz to now fully focusing A main, waiting for something to happen, as they have not seen the smoke there yet. So they're kind of thinking, oh, maybe FaZe are going to do like a push now out with some flashes. So this smoke have just conditioned them to be very worried for what will happen now that the smoke is not there. Conditioning is a big concept in pro Counter-Strike. It's something you don't really see in your regular pugs, but in pro matches it's very important. And my best example of this is towards ramp in Mirage. If the CT side always Molotovs it and you keep on smoking it but you don't go, you will actually condition the CT side to always expect the Molotov but nothing else. So let's say you do it for 6 rounds in a row. 6 rounds in a row you smoke the Molotov and you don't do anything else. The CTs will actually stop holding it, and let's say they're in a 1-3-1 setup, the one guy on site might actually be focusing Palace instead. So now, in round 7, you smoke the Molotov and you walk out. And it's crazy to see, but so many lurkers get so many kills from doing this. Like, look at some Rob's demos, he will keep on doing this conditioning play to set himself up. And that's kind of what FaZe are hoping now that they don't use the smoke and rather the stair smoke. Mongols are going all 5 players towards water, so this play from FaZe will either lead to a fast win or a fast loss. There's no in between. Simple finds 1 kill, as you can see a leech fights a player in water, but a leech is traded back, so it's still a 4v4. Simple on the death of a leech will push water, and I just love how Mongol sees him, as he can hear Simple shoot and miss, and ignores him trying to find his kill onto Rain. And here the Mongols nades the smoke in front of main, that Raid have used to try to keep himself safe, and finds Rain, who just gets 1 kill to trade himself, while Simple finds 1 more kill, and Mongols are on the back foot again, as on the kill Simple gets, the bomb gets dropped. And Simple just keeps on going, like what are Mongols doing? Walking back to water as they lost the bomb, but not looking ready at all for this insanely fast run from FaZe, and it's almost perfect. Round 9 proves how powerful this smoke can be, as it fully stops the whole rush. Rain and FaZe are actually setting up Rain for a smoke play, as Leech is here ready to help him, as we saw in round 6, while Mongols are sending all 5 players to just overrun the smoke, as they have to be done with it, as it keeps ruining their default. Add these commands to your auto-exec file, as they allow you to zoom in on your map. Why is that important, you may wonder? Well, this will then allow you to know if you're stuck in someone when you go into a smoke, like it happened to me in this clip. Look how I zoom in on the minimap before I understood I was stuck. And that is how Rain is so fast to react to this player he gets stuck with. And just look how the round ended, as it lasted for 20 seconds in total. Last round of the half, FaZe has a massive lead, something that seemed impossible after we saw their loss against Aurora on this map. But the game has been slow, so let's skip over to the execute. For the execute, Mongols has 3 players in B main and 2 players in connector. As if you want to do the perfect execute, it should look like this, as you want to split the attention of FaZe when going out. But it's important, go out together. While FaZe on all of this will have a Leech and Rain take water control, then Simple clearing middle, leaving the side hold only to Kerrigan and Frozen. Meaning Kerrigan has to clear connector, while Frozen has to be solid and hold for the main push. Will they be able to? Kerrigan and Simple can hear the water steps. So here it's called that something fast towards B is about to happen, and Kerrigan will use this Molotov. And it's just classic Kerrigan, man. Jumping around with the Molotov out while he's being swung, and when he gets spotted he uses the Molotov, and that's fine. But you have to do as Kerrigan and actually swing on it as well, as otherwise Mongol can just run through it, as the Molotov early does not do a lot of damage. And Kerrigan finds 2 kills, and what should have been an easy rush has now put Mongols down to 3v5. But Mongols' main push has to happen now, as it's already too late, as Kerrigan found 2 kills in the open here, but Mongols are great as they find both Frozen and Kerrigan back, meaning if this main push came faster, this round would have been different. But it's all down to 3v3 in round 12. Simple is the first to rotate over, and here as the first player to the site. You have to make a decision by yourself. You either push out and try to find an opening kill, or freeze up holding an angle waiting for your 2 other teammates to come. But it's Simple we are talking about. He's an aggressive person and AWPer, so he will of course go for the peak, and he can find 1 kill setting FaZe up for a much easier retake. But he's not done. He whites out as he don't want Mongols to win water control. And look at that shot, what a monster, and since in the 1v3 is read by Rain, who perfectly places himself in water waiting for him. FaZe are set to clash with the Mongols in the opening stage of the major playoff, and I can promise you, we will see Mongols trying to intercept this smoke, if Anubis is picked, as they need an answer to this smoke before it's too late. Thank you for watching, and here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye.